Blessed good afternoon to all our listeners, our viewers, wherever you are in tune to the Abundant Life radio station. We broadcast on a 103.1 in Barbuda, 103.9 from Boggy Peak in Antigua, and we are also doing this broadcast live on the Barbuda channel, CTV channel 6. We are also live for the first time. We are live on the Barbuda channel, YouTube channel. So you can go on YouTube and it's right there, live at this time. And we are also live on our Facebook page. And for those who are watching us on Facebook, we just want you to share, share, share. If you're on our YouTube channel, if you have never seen it, you can go there and you can just subscribe. So whenever, like all of this week, just like most of last week, we have a lot of interviews coming up. And today, this interview, it's going to be all about the Barbuda Ocean Festival 2024. And you know the kind of stuff that these, when you hear about Barbuda Ocean Festival, what it's all about. And I have in the studio with me, no stranger to Barbuda, right? But for some of you, it's a good friend. Brother Lorenzo Taylor, get it right?
Yes.
Okay. He's not in the capacity as a politician. He's here to represent. Good day, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite fine, man. Quite fine. Happy to be here.
Great. Okay. So I know you're part of this. All this is the Barbudan Go initiative. Just pull the mic a little bit closer. Pull both of them closer. Right. Good. Okay. Tell us a bit about what's going on at Barbuda. What was the last event here?
The last event that we had would have been, well, technically it's not an event. It was the Ocean Camp. It was a week in July. It was a week in July. We had the children learning about climate change and how it affects marine life, marine science. I have to say that they came quite equipped, because when I asked them, like, do you know the purpose of what you're here for? They were able to give me quick answers, and I was wondering if they had a peek at my laptop to see what the topics were before answering the question. But before that, I think the last event that we would have had would have been the Heritage Tour.
Okay.
Back in March.
Great. Okay, so you have this. Tell us now about Barbuda Ocean Festival. What the whole behind of this? What is it?
So, Ocean Fest, it's an annual community celebration. It's an event celebrating the incredible value of the ocean and the eco-service it provides. And when you say eco-service, you have to start tapping to look at, like, what is it exactly? It's a supplying of seafood, regulating our climate, producing oxygen, protecting our coastlines. But this year specifically, like, we're excited to bring to the community to learn about and celebrate and even contribute to sustaining the ocean's health and resources.
Wow.
Like, a lot of times people think of Ocean Festival and we think, like Caribbean style, but we've learned to incorporate fun and engagement and a way for the community to learn through the engagements that we put forward.
So this is basically like also while you're doing this is an initiative to educate our public.
Yes, definitely,
okay.
Definitely.
So I see the tagline is "Use our ocean without using it up." What's behind of that?
So we know that climate change is something that's affecting us currently. And a lot of times you have to start looking at the fact that overfishing is something that has been around for quite some time. That's why there's regulations on certain fishes, or even lobster, conch, because you have to give our ocean time to reproduce itself so that we can enjoy it. But if we use it up and then we have climate change, that's a big factor right now, we put ourselves at the risk there of not having what we always enjoy, which is our lobster, our conch, our crab, and even the fishes that we enjoy. It's a sad thing especially when you know that chubfish, for instance, has been one of the biggest delicacies in Barbuda, and then knowing now it's at the point where we have to ban it because it's at the point where it's been overfished and it provides so much importance to the island. If we know anything about parrotfish, is that it poops sand. Yeah. Wow. And that's millions and tons of sand a year from one parrotfish.
Wow, wow, wow. And okay, so normally, so this event, and we must tell our folks it is being hosted by the.
Barbuda Go.
Uh-huh.
Right. So Barbuda Go is an NGO that has operated in Barbuda since 2018. The directors are Brandon, Asher, and Cleo,
Right.
or Pethelina Isaac, as most people might know her formerly. And they have done wonderful initiatives throughout the 6 year span, helping out the elderly. From what I can remember for sure is that right after Irma, they were able to assist with helping out with water supply to the island. There's educational activities. Last year we did the International Youth, the International Youth Day, where we had them debating on topics and they had to give their perspectives, and that was one of the ways for our youths to be able to give, showcase their talent within the community in essay writing and even oratorical speech. So even we normally will see Barbuda and Go do a lot of environmental work because we live on an island where our coastal protection is usually mangroves, the sandbar, and there's another one that's not coming to mind at the moment, right? And we have to look at the fact that these things are being depleted because of, man-made as well too, man-made reasons, tourism, hotels and so forth, and at the same time, again, it comes back. And I know you've heard me say it many times, climate change. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really affecting us.
Right, that's right.
Oh, and coral reefs. That's
coral reefs.
Coral
right.
reefs.
Okay, so last year, tell us a bit about last year, before we get into this year. Tell us a bit about last year, some of the winners. But let me commend you first. Well, not really you, the Barbuda Go, because I think the last here in Barbuda for the independence, they were awarded for as a
humanitarian award.
Right,
yeah.
That's right, and we must commend them for what the great work that they're doing. Yes. So tell us about the last year. What was the highlight that stood out for you from last year, Ocean Fest, before we get into this year?
Last year for me, it had to be the cooking competition. It usually is the highlight because a lot of people, when you look at it from the perspective of what we tend to do, or what Barbuda Go has tend to do, is to give them seafood or sea proteins that they're not accustomed to cooking traditionally. So it gives them a chance to be creative and come up with something brand new that the island may have never heard before. Now, I mean, I think as one time in particular, they had sea beef. How many people actually wake up a morning and say, you know what, I'm gonna have some sea beef today? So that was the highlight for me, seeing the creativeness that the chefs, let me say chefs, because even though they're amateurs, they were still chefs. Right? For me, it was the creativity in being able to take something that they've never heard of or accustomed to cooking and creating a dish that was, one, it looked gourmet, and two, it tasted gourmet.
Wow. Okay. So this year, tell us a bit about this year now. What's on your program for this year, 2024?
So before we dive into what the activities are, like some of the things that we really want to make sure that we're putting out there, because yes, the seafood competition is one of the things that we use to draw the crowd, but it's so much about what our ocean is for us.
That's right.
And you have to look at the fact that when you look at food supply, oceans, it sustains fisheries, feeding millions globally. And again, I keep saying climate change, so we have to talk about climate regulation. Oceans absorb carbon and stabilize the climate, sorry. And then look at oxygen production. I don't know how many people know that oceans actually produce more than half of our planet's oxygen. In addition to coastal protection, I just spoke about the reefs and mangroves. Right. So reefs, mangroves, and seagrasses act as a natural barrier against erosion and storms. And those are the things that we're trying to put out there in terms of this year specifically. We want to target conservation so that many people are aware of what is going on in Barbuda where conservation is concerned, because throughout the year they would have seen quite a few people who they've never seen before driving about or walking about with sea gear, or even at the wharf. If you're at the wharf, you see people going into boats and you're wondering, what are they going to do? So this year, it's a way for us to say, hey, you've seen all this happen. This is what has been happening for the past year. And this is a way for you now to get involved in what we are doing.
Right.
If you're at the point where you're saying to yourself, something needs to be done, Barbuda Go is providing an avenue for you to take it from a thought and putting it into practice.
Continue. You're going good. Continue. Right.
So one of the emphasis that we have this year is how the services enrich our lives and why it's essential to adopt sustainable practices and protect them. All right. So when we started thinking about from the educational aspect of it, right? When we're learning about marine conservation efforts and fisheries regulations, we always have to look at the fact that Ocean Fest offers a chance to learn about local marine conservation efforts, including fish stock management, habitat restoration, pollution reduction. Our conservation tent, which is something that we featured last year, it was never there before. So what we did was we set up an information booth where persons will be able to go into this booth and see a lot of the things that we've been doing for the previous years and even that particular year. A lot of persons, they know of mangroves, but they weren't aware of how many types of mangroves we had in Barbuda. We have 4, red, white, black, and the buttonwood. The thing is, how many people can actually look at the mangrove and be able to identify which is which?
Wow.
Like the seamen, they can, because they've known it from since they were young coming up.
Right.
But the average Barbudan would look at it and just say, oh, it's a tree or it's a mangrove. But you ask them what type, they're not exactly sure what type it is. So it's a way for us to be able to do that. We will have the information booth again.
Right, so the information booth will be there, and so folks can just go and ask questions.
You can go and ask questions. They can see pictorial views.
Wow.
We have this year particularly, what we've done is extend an invitation to other NGOs within Antigua and Barbuda. So we have persons from EAG coming, well, one person from EAG coming, and we're trying to make sure that we solidify this gentleman from, what's it called? I think it's, is it Belize? I think it's Belize. Belize or, no, sorry, it's Guadeloupe.
Guadeloupe. Okay.
Yes, Guadeloupe. But they have an NGO in Antigua called Elkhorn Institute. So we're trying to solidify them coming over in addition to Deborah Brosnan and her team who have been doing the sea turtle research here in Barbuda. So we're bringing back this tent as well and making it better and just focusing on 5 focus areas and then highlighting the impactful work in ocean protection. Now,
that's right.
So the attendees as well. One of the hardest things to do in a sense is to create something that is educational but make it fun.
Right.
Right? So that's where the challenge usually comes. So what we're trying to do is to allow our attendees to gain insight into fisheries regulations and knowing when are close seasons. I know a lot of times we tend to say lobster comes around and it's like, oh, lobster come around when carbon are done and when carbon are start I mean, we understand because it's tourism, it's a way for Barbuda to boost its economy, but we have to understand that these regulations are in place for a specific reason. And one of the biggest reasons is to allow the fish population to recover. So one of the things that we tend to do is that we tend to put the fisheries regulations, I don't know how many people notice it, but the fisheries regulations are always on the back of the t-shirts that we give away each year. So one of the things that we've done slightly different is that last year in particular was that we asked for a contribution from the general public to help us with our funding and so forth for whatever research we have the following year. This year is a similar format. So we ask persons to, when you go to the information booth or the welcome tent, get your t-shirts. It's $15. We're not taxing you too heavy, just something nice and small to give back to the community. And it's one of your way of walking around. You can have you say, oh, you know what, this year I have my 2024 Ocean Fest t-shirt. So
these will be on sale?
These will be on sale on site.
On the day, or you can get them before?
On the site, yes, awesome. Same day, yeah.
Right.
So the educational resources. 2 years ago, Sophia Charles created a book called Pip the Parrotfish through a competition that Barbuda Go hosted. There were a few participants, but luckily she came out victorious, and we applaud her for that. Now, this is Sophia's first book, and in this book, what we've made possible through Sophia's story is to teach about marine life and conservation in a fun and engaging way that young children will buy into it. Because oftentimes we say that children are our future, they're the next generation, so that's what we targeted. Because if we can begin to control isn't the right word. If we can begin to conform the change in our youths coming up, then we can begin to see the necessities of certain things like green energy, green jobs, climate reduction, conservation, protection, and so forth. So that way they're already buying in at an age where they're young, their minds are young, and it's teachable. So when we get to an age where we can ask for volunteers, or we can ask persons, or even give persons scholarships, they would have already been at an age where they would have been accustomed to seeing and hearing these things. Like, for instance, even, I know we're not talking about Bird Festival, but one of the things that we had last year was someone from EAG come in, and they spoke about the Barbuda warbler, which is endemic to Barbuda. The funny thing is, a year has passed, and the children would always see me on the road and be like, I know you from somewhere. And it's like, hey man, me come to class with the bird and the woman there. Right? So they know, they are aware of it, and I'm happy with the fact that they're able to identify that. So the same things that we want to do with the Pip the Parrotfish book is allow them to be able to have this in their homes, read it, understand it, see the colorful pages of the book, and even for those who may be artists, want to replicate it, use it as a muse for some art piece that's out there. And so, as we have this book, it's there. It will be on sale.
So, I was going to ask that.
It will be on sale. We have
still
available. You can get it before, you can get it after, you can get it on the day. It is there. So, when you get to the welcome tent, don't be afraid to ask, may I have my Pip the Parrotfish book, please?
Awesome. If you're just joining us, we're bringing to you a very special interview. We have Mr. Lorenzo Taylor, right? He's in studio representing the Barbudan Go, and it's all about Barbudan Ocean Festival 2024, but also what we are doing and what they will be doing is not just about a festival of having a good time. It is also about educating and informing us, right, about how important it is to take care of the ocean. So we're going to continue this interview. Tell us now about, we spoke about the parrotfish, right? And now we're going to talk about the family-friendly competition and activities and that. Tell us about that.
So just like I had said before, previously with the cook-off last year, we brought it back. But before I get into the cook-off, because that one, we did it. We did so. I think we've nailed it. We've nailed it to a point where it's similar to Chopped. You ever watch Food Network and you have those? Yeah. So we've taken concepts from that.
Okay.
But before I get to that, so we usually have our swimming races and our kayak races for the children and even for the adults as well too. Last year we didn't get to fully complete our kayak races, but this year I am making sure that our kayak races are completed, where what we're going to have is eight participants and do a bracket style, come right down till we have the winner. So for those of you who have strong hands and are able to control a kayak, please sign up on the day as soon as you get in, so we can kick off that event, that activity from 12 o'clock sharp. Swimming races, the same thing as well. One of the new things that we've introduced, and we're hoping that a few people are able to buy into it because it's different.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a fillet fish competition in Barbuda before?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Okay.
So what we're allowing is for persons to have a group of fish around the same weight and size, and the goal is to fillet this fish as fast as possible.
Wow.
With the correct techniques. We will have someone who comes afterwards to judge to make sure, and the person who does this in the shortest amount of time and with the best possible technique has a chance to win a fillet knife set.
Wow.
It comes with 3 types of knives: the scissors, the gloves, the tweezers, and different other trinkets. Like I think it's a 9-piece set or a 10-piece set fillet knife set So we're giving this away. So please don't let it go to waste. Someone has to take it, because we have to look at the fact as well too. And this is why we're actually pushing it. The fisheries is at a point where they're looking to revamp their services. And Barbuda has so much to offer in terms of our fisheries, not just as a department or as a division, but as a way of life. So for persons who are interested in packaging, that will be available. This will be a tool for you to learn how to do so, one. And two, we're giving you away. This is the other thing. None of these competitions do we have a registration fee.
Wow. So,
all of this is just you coming and saying, including the cooking competition. All of it is free. So you basically have a chance to win a fillet knife set.
Wow.
For free. Come on, just come and register, right? So with the cook-off now, this is where it gets a little interesting. So what we've done last year, we had a concept last year of having them work against time to create a dish. This year we've given them more time. But because we've given you more time, we've added more dishes. So what we have done is they have to create a breakfast platter or breakfast plate, a lunch plate, and a dinner plate.
Wow. You got to take your time and say that again. So for this year, they're going to create a
breakfast plate, a lunch plate, and a dinner plate.
Wow.
Right? And this is the part where I want you to listen very keenly, even the persons who are thinking to sign up. So we're offering 3 proteins this year, which is stingray, wilks, and shellfish.
Okay, wow.
Now, you're not obliged to create 3 dishes using all 3. So you're using 1 protein specifically for breakfast, 1 specifically for lunch, and 1 specifically for dinner. That's up to you to choose. We will not ask you to choose.
Which one, right?
Right? So you have the option of choosing which you want to do. Now, you can be as creative as possible with it. Now, I know that, for instance, and I'm not saying this as a way for a person to think, okay, I'm giving you a hint into creativity, but just look at it this way. We know when we think of stingray, we normally think of a Sunday morning breakfast. But what if you were to take that stingray and make dinner or lunch?
Right.
That's where you get your points of creativity from, right? And in terms of how you also prepare it as well. Of course, we're still going to give you your secret ingredient. We still have a secret ingredient again this year.
The secret ingredient is going where? Anyway, tell us about that.
So the secret ingredient, you can put it in 1 specific dish, or you can put it in all 3. It's up to you.
Wow.
So the additional points only come from you being able to know how to creatively and allow it to blend with whatever dish that you create. But it's not something that would or should mess up any of the dishes that you create. Again, it's secret, so I can't say anything. Last year I gave hints, but this year I'm not giving any hints. Just know that it's not taboo. It is taboo. It is taboo. So it's not something that we're accustomed to eating. So last year I gave the hint and I said, it's something we're accustomed to eating. So you can begin. No, this year expect the unexpected, but we know that it's something that can be prepared within a short space of time that allows you to finish within that 120-minute mark. With this as well, right, is that the cook-off is open to anyone.
Okay.
Last year we had our youngest participant was Gregory Ann.
Right.
And now Gregory Ann is at the Hotel Institute training to be a chef.
Right.
Unfortunately, she wasn't one of the winners, but she did. I think they placed second, if I'm correct. I think they placed second. So and then we've seen her in the junior chef competition, right? So this is a way again. Now, I feel like we get the opportunity to say, yes, we got her started, but I'm not going to take her shine from her. But again, it's just for us, for the community to be able to come in and be able to showcase their talent. We will have 3 judges as well. Once the time is finished, you plate, and may the best person win.
Right.
But we're not just preparing food for the judges. Each participant still has to create samples of their dishes for the community to sample.
Wow.
So it's 120 minutes. Don't waste it.
Okay. Wow.
Right? But the good thing about it is that we give them their seafood a week before in advance to prepare however they want.
Oh, right.
So last year, we kind of held on to it a bit, but I found that that a lot of time was wasted in the preparation process.
Right.
So we're giving them the opportunity this year now to take the seafood, prep it how you want to prep it, so that on the day, all you're doing is cooking.
So this means that folks have to register early.
You have to register early.
Okay, right.
We want to close off registration by the 20th as an extended date. Friday, what date is Friday? Friday is the 15th?
Yeah, Friday is the 15th. And let me just make sure we get that going good before we think. So Friday is the 15th.
Right, Friday is the 15th will be our deadline. But we're allowing for an extension to Monday the 18th. Right, Monday the 18th will be our close-off period. Right.
So and the last year it was 2 persons per team, right?
2 persons per
right.
team.
Tell us a bit about that now for folks who are listening. Maybe it's something folks don't knock up with the flyers, but tell us in details now who can apply and also who can register, not apply, who can register, and also what is the process? What do you have a form? You do it online? Where? Tell us about that.
So anyone can register as long as, well, it's not a necessity to have a food handler's badge.
Right.
So that's the first thing. The only persons who have to have a food handler's badge are the vendors.
Okay.
But as a participant, you don't have to. We would just prefer that hygiene is something that is very important to you.
Right.
Because remember, you're handling seafood and you're actually cooking for someone.
Mm-hmm.
Forms can be found with me. Just call my number 732-2745, or send me a WhatsApp, or if you meet me on the road anywhere, just tell me you need a form and I'll find a way to make sure I get it to you.
Give me the number again.
732 2745.
We have that number right here that's floating. Good. And so they can just start calling you, connecting.
Just call or WhatsApp, and we can connect and find a way. So we're trying to have at least 4 participants. So far we have 2 solidified. So there's spots open for 2 people left, or 2 teams left.
Okay.
And teams must be of 2 persons. No, it can't be anything more than 2. If you choose to do it solo, that's on you.
Wow.
But we would prefer that you have two persons per team.
Okay. If you're just joining us, we're bringing to you a very special interview. And guess what we're going to be doing now? We're just going to give my friend a little time to take a little break. We will be right back. Well, welcome back. We are here, and it's great to have you. We are doing this a very special interview with Mr. Lorenzo Taylor, representing the Barbudan Go at the Barbuda Ocean Festival 2024. We're giving you all the information that you need at this time. And we just at this junction, when we took the break, we were looking at registration. So I want you to just to run that a little bit again. Give us your number and let folks know We Friday should be the deadline, but we're giving you until Monday, so take it away.
We just want to reiterate that the registration is open to anyone. There's no requirements, no food handles badge that needs to be handed in. That is only for vendors. You can meet me on the road. You can shoot me a WhatsApp or call me at 732-2745, and I will arrange with you to come and pick up a form. You fill out the form and you hand it in before the deadline to secure your spot. Again, we have 2 spots remaining, so between now and Friday, or should I say between now and next week Monday, yeah, start thinking now. Let those brain cells start tingling. Think of recipes and come and say, hey, 6 feet, Ridge, Lorenzo, I need a form. Let's get this thing going. Again, you do not have to pay to register. This is all free. And how could I forget? Our prize this year.
That's right. Tell us about that. Maybe that's going to excite people. Tell us about that.
Our prize this year, first place is $1,500.
Wow. Say that. You got to take your time and say that. So the first place winner, how much?
$1,500.
Wow.
Just imagine you are registering for a competition that you have nothing to give, except your time, your creativity, and your skills.
And you're getting everything.
And you're getting everything.
Right.
Should you win, you're getting $1,500.
Wow.
And if you're a second place winner, you get $1,000.
Wow.
And with the pantry, we are giving you $300 to go towards your pantry to buy anything that you would need to go with your dishes. So we're giving you everything.
So it's just like, hey, I'm just going for this 15.
Right. You're just saying, you know what? This morning I have time to burn. Let me go and cook and win. Let me just go and just say, hey, you can't beat me because this is for me.
Of course.
Right?
You see, I was just going to tell you the best. We register, but both of us in some position.
Oh, that would be conflict of interest.
That's what I'm saying. So that's good. That's like 1,500 easy. That's great. Any addition to the cooking anything this year? To the
Yes.
The executive. Talk about it. Any new addition?
Yes, definitely. So. One of the things that, as a matter of fact, it was not a thought. It was not a deep thought. I was sitting down. We were having a meeting. I'm like, what would be good to have an exhibition chef.
Wow.
And we looked at each other and was like, yes, we're making it happen. So this year, what we've done is asked a chef who judged last year, Deshaun. He was one of the judges last year.
Right, yes, you remember, yeah.
Right, so he is coming back as a judge, but he's also coming back as our executive exhibition chef. So we have a tent that will be set up there, and all Deshaun will be doing from morning is preparing food and putting it out for the committee to sample.
Wow.
Again, you don't have to go to Deshaun and say, hey, how much this, how much is that? No. Just, I would like to have one. I want to taste this. May I have this?
So that's going to be the same ingredients that you give.
The same ingredients that the participants will cook over having.
That's right.
He'll be using this now to prepare a more gourmet look on things, for a more executive, high-end chef level. So again, you see Deshaun, as long as there's food samples out there, you just take and go.
I'm going to cut a deal with you. So how are we going to do, right? You'll be doing the work. I will do the eating and tell you how it is.
No, we have to eat together. No, we have to eat together. Yeah, because food, you see, food is something that you share. You can't just hug all to yourself. You have to be able to. Because guess what? You might not like peppers, but I do. So you might bite something and say, "Oh, gosh, it's too hot," and like me, it's just like, "Oh, it's perfectly fine."
I understand that. With that said, we'll be together. So yeah, that's good. So that so the executive chef will be showcasing
all the different. Well, maybe not all,
right,
but we're trying to get at least 2 to 3 dishes that the chef will be able to prepare, and something that we would love to do, right? Apart from the executive chef, with the fillet fish competition, we will still be able to give the executive chef fish from the fillet but most of it will be given to the senior citizens within Barbuda.
Wow.
So it's one of our ways of us giving back as well too. So apart from having the executive chefs preparing food and then still present be able to eat, we still want to take the opportunity to give back to the community with having the fish used for the fillet competition being packaged and sent to senior citizens within the community.
Right. Awesome.
So one more reason why you should come and take part in the fillet fish
support,
and the fillet fish competition.
Right. Okay. So I'm telling this is encouraging. As we continue, I want you to look a little bit more and encouraging on ocean use and how the community can support.
So, Wait Foundation is an organization that has been in Barbuda for a number of years, and they've drastically helped Barbuda create fisheries regulations and policies, or strengthen, I should say. Let me not say create. They helped to strengthen these policies that were there before. They created zones that were a part of protection sites. They created protection sites, and this is something that I really love about it. Now, for us as a community, what we can do is buy into it, because it doesn't stop here. I mean, Wait Foundation has not been in Barbuda for a number of years as well. At least 4 or 5 years they've been in Barbuda, but the work should not stop.
Wow.
Right? So the motto that we have came from Wait Foundation, which is let's use the ocean without using it up. Now, we've adopted the motto at Ocean Fest. So our hope is that attendees will leave with a stronger understanding of how we can help protect our oceans and practice sustainable stewardship. There are different educational and empowering activities that take place throughout, along with the fisheries division in Barbuda, alongside Barbuda Gold, sometimes along Blue Halo, and these initiatives are there for us as a community to learn from it. When we learn from it now, we can now tell others about it because we know we have the experience. A lot of people come in and they're able to show us the modern techniques of doing research and so forth, but we as a community have the data that is there, and the only way in which we can share this data is if we continue to do the work that allows for this data to be disseminated to persons who are able to help us to create a more sustainable fisheries environment. So,
wow.
Yes, it's a lot.
But so far, from your involvement with Barbuda and Goa, how have you seen the support from the community as you have been doing this for a number of years?
The support is always there. It's one thing I will say that even from a young child growing up, we will always hear that Barbudans, we can be a little how we are, but if it's one thing, when it comes to coming together and doing things that benefit us, we're always there 100%. Volunteering throughout with the different events that we've had last year, this year, and even the year before, because even before me having this position with Barbuda Go as the program support assistant in 2002, I was a volunteer, and I still volunteer my time, right? And I've seen the community come together, like early mornings for cleanups.
Right.
5 o'clock, 4:30, we're on the road, we're doing what we need to do. When it comes to setting up for an event, we have the youths who are there giving their muscle power. We have persons within the community who have their talents. We utilize these talents to create an event or create an activity that allows for the community to be able to buy into it, to have fun, to still learn something, to still be empowered. And for me, I just have to say, for Barbuda specifically, just thank you for your time. Thank you for volunteering your time. Thank you for bringing your skills. Thank you for bringing whatever that you need, that you thought was needed to help to create a better environment for us, or a safer environment for us to be able to do what we do. So thank you for that.
Okay, while we're talking about the community involvement, let us look at the vendors, because normally at this event there are vendors. Tell us a bit about how can vendors, do they have to register? Tell us a bit about, talk to the vendors, and how can they be a part of this whole event?
All right, so we welcome vendors. for Ocean Fest, and I think we will always welcome vendors. Now, the same thing with the number. You can reach me at WhatsApp. You can reach me through WhatsApp or call, same number, 732-2745. And again, we have a form. You come and fill out the form. The way it is structured is that if you're selling food, we require you to have a food handler's badge, a valid food handler's badge. And secondly, the registration fee is $50 if you're selling food, and if you're selling like cakes and pastries and snacks and so forth, it's $30. Again, same way of reaching me is through WhatsApp or call. WhatsApp is best. 732-2745, and trust me, I'll answer in a few minutes. If I don't, I still will answer within a few minutes.
So, so they have to register before, or
they have to register before. We're closing off the deadline for registration at the 20th.
The 20th, right. So once again, for vendors, you must register before.
Before.
Right. So they have a form to fill out?
Yes, you have a form to fill out, right. So they can tick off what they can have a name.
Right.
They can tick off, and there's a rules there for them to read through so that they'll be able to know. And if you're vending, we would ask that you come and set up early.
Early, okay. Right.
8 o'clock, your tent should be up.
Right.
Because we have other people coming in to do certain things that we don't want the traffic to.
Right. Awesome. So vendors are allowed any amount, and they just got to register before Monday.
Before Wednesday.
Before Wednesday.
The 20th.
The 20th, right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, Wednesday. Good. And so now, tell us a bit, you're doing all this. Tell us a bit about, is there sponsorship? If you're partnering with anyone, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so we've partnered with Deborah Brosnan and the Wait Institute for the past 3-4 years. And we've continued our partnership with them, and we really just want to thank them. We have the utmost respect for both of them, and we extend our gratitude to both our sponsors, Wade Foundation and Deborah Brosnan, for making Ocean Festival possible and supporting ocean conservation. Apart from Deborah Brosnan specifically helping with sponsorship, she brings her team of her scientists and conservationists to make a presentation just about every year. She's going to be a part of the information booth. So her organization is playing a very integral role in helping us to promote our Ocean Festival. We also have persons within the community who have given, pledged. Right. They've pledged to help out in terms of sponsorships, Sage Table specifically. We also want to thank Dwayne as well for his contribution in Dwayne as well from the Sage Table is providing breakfast and lunch for our volunteers.
Wow.
So yes. So the community, they're a blessing to us in so many ways, and we just want to say thank you for that. For whether it's the vendors, attendees, persons who are participating, or the community coming out, yeah, just thank you, and allow us the chance to be able to create a memorable event. I know that, again, 2023 was awesome, but 2024, we're looking to make it 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, a million times better.
Awesome. If you're just joining us there, we are bringing to you this special interview. We have Mr. Lorenzo Taylor. He's here, and it's all about Barbuda Ocean Festival 2024. If you are watching us, and we're also broadcasting on all our media platforms, because our aim now is to get information about Barbuda out there. We need you to support whatever it is for as we close out this year. And so if you're watching us on Facebook, that's the Barbuda channel Facebook, I want you to press that share button. Share it to your friends. Share it to others who may not be our friends. And if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, you can watch. Quality is real good. You can go there and you can subscribe and also share that also. Send a link. It's a share button. Just share the link to your friends, and so persons can be a part of what they are doing here, right? And if you're listening to us on Barbuda channel, we always repeat some stuff, right? So folks can get into it. We're going to take a final break. We'll be right back. Yes, we're right back just after that quick break there. You know, we just take the break, and it's all about Barbuda Ocean Festival 2024. Once again, we encourage you, if you're watching this on Facebook, share it. Listen, I want you to press that share button, right? And if you're watching us on YouTube, there's a link, share it and send it all over the place. So, hey, watch this. Be a part of this. If you're in Antigua, guess what? Take a little trip over and be a part of what we're doing here in Barbuda. Mr. Taylor, we have been talking about this, and it's now spoke about the deadline, spoke about last year, we spoke about the sponsorship. So folks are waiting when this is going to be. So I know we have been showing the flyer a while ago. So it is your opportunity now to invite your cousin, your friends, your classmates, everybody, you know, every race, class to this special event. Tell us the date, time, location, everything now. Take it away.
So Ocean Fest 2024 is officially on November 23rd at the Fisheries Complex between the time of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, Ocean Fest is completely free. So we just ask you, come on out. It's a community-centered event filled with learning, celebration, commitment, and, you know, a way to preserve our oceans. In addition, Pastor Francois, how you made me forget that we have a children's corner.
Wow, you have a children's corner.
We have our children's
Tell
corner.
us about that to excite the, you know, once you have children somewhere, yes, parents have forgotten.
Right.
So
right.
Tell us about the children's corner.
So it's not a daycare, of course. It's not a daycare, but of course, we always offer a space for children to come and be creative, to play. We have persons who are responsible, who oftentimes have their certificates or degrees in child learning, right? So they know how to control the situation so it doesn't get out of hand. We have games, we have prizes, we have face painting.
Wow. Even
the book, The Parafish, will be read within that space for children to be able to learn about our parrotfish and why they're so important to us. So when you come down, you walk with your children, find the children's corner. I wouldn't say drop them off, because it would be nice to come and experience with your child, and share the experience. It's a memorable moment for them to learn something and learn something along with you as the parent. So that's basically Ocean Fest in a nutshell, and I promise it's gonna be a hell of a time. It's gonna be again, it's gonna be one of those things where every time you think of Barbuda Go, you think Ocean Fest 2024, because we are bringing it this year, and we're making sure that quality is one of our biggest selling points for this event. Mm-hmm. We're making sure that you walk away learning something, walk away with prizes, because we have trivia.
Wow.
We have trivia. I ain't gonna say too much about that one, but we have trivia. So brush up on your skills, on your knowledge, and yes, we have prizes for our trivia. So just come on out, bring out the family as
Right. So, but also you're mentioning that, and just for clarity, do you have a entrance fee?
No entrance fee.
Right. I want you to.
No entrance fee. The only thing we won't allow is for you to drive in to bring your vehicles. So park your vehicles outside.
Right.
And just come to the big fisheries gate. Go to the welcome booth. Get your shirts. Move on to the information booth. Get some food. We have a bar. We have a fully stocked bar. Get some drinks, and just come and enjoy yourself.
Wow.
Be a part of what's going on. The engagements. Again, we have some prizes.
Wow.
Don't let us go back home with those prizes.
And so which means you got to folks have to come early.
You have to come early.
Come early because So once again, I want you to look in your camera now, and I want you to speak to everyone in Barbuda at this time. Invite them. Tell them the date again. Let them know that there's no entrance fee, so they can bring the whole everybody to this as we, close out this year. So talk to the camera. Talk to your people.
So, Barbuda Go has created an event for you to enjoy, for you to learn. On November 23rd at the Fisheries Complex, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have swimming races, we have kayak races, we have the cook-off competition, we have the fillet fish competition, and I would say come hungry. Come hungry, come hungry and experience as much as you can. Our executive chef is going to be there preparing dishes. We're going to have snacks, we're going to have food. You want conch chowder? We have conch chowder. You want lobster tail? We have lobster tail. So come on out. It's free, entirely free. You just walk in and just be a part of the experience. We invite one and all, as Pastor Clifton Francois said, you walk with your cousin, you walk with your aunt, your sister, your brother, your baby, your toddler, everybody. Just walk with them and come on out and let's have a fun day.
Right. So you're gonna put out there, brother, to the challenge, right? He told you to come hungry. So guess what? You're gonna start. Hey, you're gonna go down there, and if by chance you get there and there's no food, you're gonna eat his food, right? You're gonna make sure you find him and eat his food, right? The thing is, he's not eating until all of us eat.
I'm quite okay with that.
Okay, we certainly hope that was you got all those information, and I want to personally encourage you to support the Barbuda Co. They have been doing an awesome task. We have been in partnership doing all this. For those of you in the diaspora, at intervals we'll be bringing to you, we'll be broadcasting live from that location. And so if you are not in Barbuda, we would love you to come, but we know you can. Some of you can. And so we'll be bringing at intervals live broadcasting, but the closing ceremony and all that will be live on all our media platforms. So don't miss it at all. So Taylor, just before you go, any final word, anything you just want to say before we wrap?
For me, it's just thank you. Thank you for creating this space for us to be able to have this interview. Thank you for our sponsors who have contributed. Thank you for the participants who have came forward, for the vendors who have signed up, and those who will sign up. Just thank you, and let's just go out and just have a wonderful time and make it memorable for 2024.
Thank you all very much for taking the time, and remember, remember it's Saturday, 23rd November. Don't miss it. So start to make it a greater buzz in the community. Start to tell your friends, tell everybody, tell your coworker, we are going down. And at the end of the day, make sure you meet Lawrence and say thank you very much. Thank the members from Barbuda for putting on such an event. It's a family affair here in Barbuda. Thank you very much, listeners, and have a pleasure. See you on Saturday 23rd. See you, my friend. All the best.
See you too.